Hi guys, it's Kayla, or Moon, or Solicitor of Unwanted Opinions. How are you holding up? I could ask myself that. Now the elephant in the room. I know that I alluded to my next video being kin Porsche related, but the mafia brain rot has debilitated me from doing literally anything. That and the depression. Long story short, I need to talk about another series before I snap. So for over a month now, I've been desperate to join the conversation surrounding War of Why. Oh my god, this series is something. I refer to it as the unhinged version of Lovely Writer, but really it's incomparable. I'm eager to get into everything, but first, a brief synopsis of the plot. War of Why is an ongoing series from Copy A Bangkok that tells the story of a group of BL actors who are fighting to gain popularity and stay relevant in the fast-paced Thai industry. The series is divided into 4 parts, each one focusing on a different pairing and their personal struggles. Today, we'll be focusing on The New Ship, which follows the story of Nott and Pan as they navigate through their newfound stardom. A quick disclaimer, War of Why gets real dark real fast. There are depictions of sexual harassment, exploitation, cyberbullying, and suicide. If any of these topics are too much, put yourself first and please don't watch this video right now. In this video, we'll be discussing the way 18+ dramas are marketed, the parasocial relationship between fans and actors, and the cultural normalization of sexual harassment. So let's begin. Episode 1 opens with our protagonist, Pan. Oh, Pan. We see that he's dealing with a lot. He's part of a thriving BL pairing with his co-star Nott, and the two of them are hell-bent on maintaining their popularity. This proves difficult when an up-and-coming pairing is cast in the 2nd season of their hit series, Mafia Baby. Determined to steal the spotlight, Pan and Nott will do anything, even at the expense of their peers, who are industry veterans. More fan service, hotter chemistry, you name it. They want to get people talking. Unfortunately, the pressure to please everybody is becoming too much, especially for Pan. During the filming of Season 2, Pan and Nott are expected to perform several love scenes, something that Pan's manager, P-Kun, voices her concern about. She's a motherly figure to Pan, having scouted him from a rural town and molded him into an actor. As their relationship unravels, we see that she's overbearing and has a weird fixation on his purity. The image of him she's created in her head is one of innocence, though we find out this couldn't be further from the truth. Secretly, he and Nott have been workshopping and over time have developed feelings for each other. This brings us into our first topic of discussion, the demand for more NC scenes in BL. During the table reading for Season 2 of Mafia Baby, P-Kun questions the number of NC scenes in the script, to which the writer replies, "I think it's normal that when the characters grow up, the story gets more intense, and customers want them." To appease the manager, he tells Pan that he doesn't have to film those scenes, and that he can give them to the side couple instead. Pan reassures him that he's capable, and the conversation ends there. From the writer's own words, we see just how profitable it is to use sex as a selling point for a BL series. Fans generate the demand for this content, and sponsors are not blind to that. We saw a similar cycle play out with Jean's character in Lovely Writer, who felt pressured by his publishing house to add more NC scenes into his novel. He and Pan are fictional, but their situations are not. Lately, I've noticed an increase in 18+ content being used as a marketing tactic to promote BL. An example of this is the series Checkout, which was advertised almost solely on its 18+ rating. Taking it a step further, the director announced that a 25+ cut of the series would be available on OnlyFans. He also shared that the actors filmed the NC scenes completely nude, which had fans wondering if those actors felt pressured to do so. This reality is parallel to what we see happening with Pan and Nott in War of Y. The line between depicting sexuality and exploiting it can be thin. Inherently, sex isn't a bad thing and doesn't make a BL less noteworthy. However, when actors are forced to show more, do more, or else give up their spot, you can't help but wonder if they're being exploited. Throughout Pan and Nott's story, there's this constant emphasis on their NC scenes going viral. Many times after they wrap up filming for the day, the director says to them, "Fans will love this, it'll trend for sure." Pan himself monitors the NC scenes of other pairings and gets discouraged when their show's hashtag is trending above Mafia Baby. This brings us to our next topic, the role of social media in BL. Like most young people, Pan is chronically online, a habit that does him more harm than good. He's often depressed and is plagued by the fear that he'll never be enough. His manager wants him to keep sweet. His fans want him to represent the community. His family wants him to send them money, and Nott wants him to commit. Seeking validation, he reads the fans' comments, which are kind and comforting until they're not. In episode 2, a producer from the channel TTV visits the set, and Pan wastes no time sucking up to him. See, his dream is to be signed as an actor under the channel, and he's willing to sacrifice just about anything to make it happen. But quickly, Nott gets jealous and pulls out his phone, going live. On the live stream, he teases Pan, trying to kiss him before the phone is smacked away. What he viewed as teasing is seen much differently on social media. The clip blows up on Twitter, with some fans accusing Nott of sexual harassment, and others accusing them both of gay baiting. Pan doesn't take the criticism well and tries distancing himself from Nott. He tells him to stop liking his posts, which, unfortunately, causes another controversy. Now the fans think they're fighting, a suspicion that isn't far off. Nott tries to dispel the rumor, but all is forgotten when suddenly Pan faints, succumbing to burnout. By the time he regains consciousness, he has a complete breakdown. He tells Nott, "When we service, we get insulted. When we don't service, we get insulted. What kind of shipped couple do they want us to be? Why does everything I do seem wrong? Is just being myself the reason they hate me?" He feels the world closing in on him, but through it all, Nott vows to never treat him badly. The grip that social media has on Pan is to be expected. He's a celebrity after all, and his contractual obligation to make sponsored posts on Instagram makes it difficult to unplug. Fandom spaces can be toxic, and we're aware of that. In the past few years I've spent watching Thai BL, I've seen dozens of clips go viral for the wrong reasons, resulting in the cancellation of actors. Some fans are plain haters whose grudges come from self-projection, and some fans are truly justified, requesting accountability for unacceptable behavior. One major example of this is the situation with Mew and Art. They would often bicker on Twitter, subtweeting each other all day long, and when Art came forward with accusations against Mew, their fans turned against him. Since then, Art has never been able to salvage his career, though he is signed under Studio Wabi Sabi and is set to appear in Between Us. In the case of Nott and Pan, the fans don't know they're gay, let alone in a relationship. Ultimately, the fans' interpretation of events strikes a heavy blow to Pan's remaining sanity. Now, this final topic is possibly the worst, but it's the one that Pan and Nott's story boils down to: exploitation. To be specific, sexual harassment by powerful executives, politicians, and businessmen. Throughout the series, we see P-kun bringing Pan to meet various figures in the industry. In episode 1, she takes him to meet the main sponsor of TTV. At said meeting, the sponsor grabs a hold of Pan's hands, caressing them and complimenting his smooth skin. At some point, his manager steps out to answer a call, and the two are left in the room. A server brings them ice cream, which the sponsor feeds to Pan, wiping his mouth with a napkin. The encounter is so traumatizing to Pan that when he gets home, he scrubs his skin until it's raw. In episode 2, while filming an NC scene with Nott, Pan starts hyperventilating, the incident still fresh in his mind. He isn't given much time to recover before P-kun takes him to meet an executive of TTV in episode 3. Immediately, said executive is touching him, rubbing his back, and calling him a good boy. Their meeting is cut short when the man receives an urgent phone call. Later on in the episode, Nott accompanies Pan on a trip to his hometown. Once they arrive at his parents' house, they realize they're nowhere to be found. A neighbor informs him that his father had a health scare and was taken to the hospital. I should also note that the neighbor asks if Nott's his lover, then calls them an F-slur couple. Remember this exchange because it's significant. After calling it a day, Pan and Nott end up at the hotel. Nott falls asleep without a sound, but Pan is waiting on TTV's announcement of which actors they've signed. Fully expecting a good result, he's shocked to find out that he wasn't signed, and that his beloved partner was. This news is the final push that sends him over the edge. He put himself into situations that made him uncomfortable, entertained men who abused their positions over him, and after sacrificing everything to get that contract, it was given to Nott instead. He becomes irate, turning on Nott and P-kun, who was secretly negotiating a contract with one of his peers. When he realizes that his peer received the contract because he was willing to sleep with the executive, he fires his manager. The fall from grace is fast and hard. Pan accuses Nott of using his family's money to become an actor. His mother tells him not to come back home. His and Nott's screen time is given to the side couple, and the cyberbullying reaches an all-time high when a staff member records his meltdown on set. Seeing no other way out, Pan attempts to kill himself. Oh, and remember the neighbor from earlier? We find out that he sexually abused Pan. This aspect of the story reminded me of a few real-life incidents. The first one is Earth Tirapat's alleged sexual harassment by an executive at Motive Village. The second one is the authors of Kinporsche allegedly sexually harassing the show's cast. And the third is a recent live stream where Yoon Pusanu was sexually harassed by a host. Globally, the entertainment industry has a problem. However, I do think the seniority ranking system that exists in Asia breeds a different type of harassment, one in which you're made to believe that it's normal because it's seen as part of the culture. Sorry to my longtime subscribers who have heard me say this 1,000 times, but just because something is culturally accepted doesn't make it right. I mean, shows like War of Y and Lovely Writer are literally throwing it in our faces. All the mistreatment, all the power imbalances. The fact that somebody could watch Pan's character go through all that and feel such clear empathy and understanding of his situation, but somehow not feel that same empathy and understanding for real people going through that, is mind-boggling. But I digress. I'm not sure how long this video is, but thank you for sitting through my analysis. Can you tell how obsessed I am with this series? What did you think of Pan and Nott's story? We covered a lot, but there's always more, so leave me your thoughts. I would love to cover the other stories if you guys would be interested in listening. Again, thank you to the moon and back for watching, and thank you to the lovely members of my Discord server for entertaining my brain rot. Talk to you soon? Okay, bye!